Hello everyone. I just realized I need to actually move this camera. Bear with me a moment. Whee! Hey, at least my floor isn't like a complete disaster. Well, kind of a disaster. Whatever. If you're expecting tidy, this is not the right stream. Anyway, let's get everything posted. And then we'll get into, we're interfacing today. Woohoo! 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 And I am starting, I don't know what the hell's with the accents. Ugh. Anyway, I'm starting with a new pressing cloth here, which is super exciting. And I don't want a selfie of my face. That is super blurry. Link. I was actually smart and I got everything set up before I even came on stream. Clap for me, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah. Also, we're up to 813 subscribers today, which is super fucking cool, guys. I'm so excited. I am on a little bit later than I anticipated. I was intending to be earlier, but it didn't happen. I don't know why I'm always such a stickler for like capitalizing everything, because honestly, I just go with the one that does all caps, so it doesn't fucking matter. Okay, charge the phone, charge the phone, and then I won't get distracted. Although actually those were super useful comments to respond to, so I'm not going to complain too much. Actually, one moment, sorry. Come on, phone. Charge. Charge. I really should just get like a plug-in down here, but you know what? It's been working the last few days. Why isn't it working today? Meh. There we go. Jesus. You'd think that I would be able to do that easier, but apparently not. Okay, let's get this rolling, given that the steam press is popping and snapping over here. Okay, we are pressing all the things today. I did threaten that anything that didn't get pressed today wouldn't end up getting made. That may or may not come true, but you know, we're gonna try our best to get everything done today. Well, I guess not just pressed, but actually like cut today, because realistically, I only have a week left before the pop-up with Ancient Arts. So you probably should prioritize actually getting my shit together and done. But you know me. We'll panic about it and we'll wait. New messaging moderation. What is YouTube trying to tell me? Moderators can support your channel in even more ways. Introducing managing. Okay, no, I don't need that. Thank you. Oh, there is already. Good thing I had a pressing cloth on here. This is already a mark. Okay, and I totally pressed that the wrong way. Oops. Oh well. Supposed to like do it from like front to back sort of idea. Oh well. All good. Let's get this done. Come on. I know for sure that you have water. I double checked it before I started. It's like, do I though? Do I? Really? Yes, yes you do. Stop trying to lie to me. Okay, one more press just for this little middle bit, and then I'm going to grab all the smaller pieces that we need to double press, like the rest of the minis and stuff like that. I should actually be doing those first, because right now what's under the press is, or in the press is the Cambridge stuff. But realistically, let's press the small things first, and then we'll move on to the bigger things. Because honestly, small things are easier on my brain right now. Well, maybe not. I don't know. No, that feels like lies. Lies! Okay, so those are two pretty heavy ones together. So actually let's swap that over here. Pop this over here because it's a light cotton, and then I'm going to throw two more pieces of light cotton here. And actually I'm going to throw, yeah, that should work. Okay, I usually do try to like press multiples at the same time. It doesn't always work, but we can try. Don't crush my hopes and dreams. You're like, what hopes and dreams? I don't know anymore. Get off of there. Thank y'all. Watcha. Mini travelers, mini travelers. So these pieces are for the mini traveler sling, as I was just singing, which is Can-Do Crafts, K-A-N-D-O-U Crafts pattern. She's out of Ireland, and we all really like it. And then it's going to be paired up with upcycled denim and shirt sleeves for the pockets. It's a super cute product, so I'm super excited to get it done here. It is minus 15 here today. It is effing chilly. Oh, it's supposed to get up to a balmy minus 10. Ooh. I think it was, what does it say overnight? Yeah, it was minus 20 this morning when I took the kids to school. Although, honestly, so I did that, I had yoga class this morning instead of yesterday on Thursday. Because yesterday I was like, no, Wednesday night I was just like, I can't do it. Like, holy crap, I haven't done anything else this week except for errands and working out. So I was like, F this, not going tomorrow, especially because the yoga teacher had been subbed out to a different yoga teacher, which is fine. The other yoga teacher is good, but the one that I had selected with is my favorite right now. And then I saw that they were teaching, like she was teaching today instead on Friday. And I'm like, hell yeah, we are totally we're taking a rest day and then we're going to go to yoga and spin tomorrow. And actually it worked out really nicely because let me tell you, walking into that studio this morning when it was like, you know, like it's not dawn, but it was that cool, cold winter, like Canadian light when it's like everything is crisp and it's just like you're just doing what you're going to do. It was super restorative. And then by the end of the practice, the sun had come up and like lit the room up and it was just such a good experience, to be honest. So 10 out of 10 recommend. If you're in Cochrane, go to the studies like 8:30 a.m. class. The other nice thing is I got the kids out on time. So literally I went straight there and got into class. So I did 8:30 to 9, whatever it was, 9:20 of yoga. And then I did the 9:30 to 10:20 spin class. Now I did intend to be online earlier than this, but oh well. I want to be hustling, but my brain and body is like, you're not hustling right now. I'm like, okay. We will try to respect that while still doing some hustle. And apparently today was one of those days where it just need to be a little bit slower start for myself. We were going to go to the zoo tomorrow, but the weather is still really, well, it's not like stupid cold tomorrow. It's only -10 only. But both the kids and myself were all kind of toast. And the original plan was to go tomorrow so I could pick up more wax canvas. At this point, as much as I want to do that, I'm not going to because there's no way I'm going to finish those before Japan. Or like before the pop-up on next Saturday. So I'm just like, you know what, we'll just wait on that even until Tuesday. Like I can pick it up before I go, but like there's 0 point in trying to push to get that stuff done for Saturday because I'm already like overcommitted. So what we're doing is we're stepping back from some of the wax canvas bags for right now. Kids and I are going to take a chill day tomorrow. Because I asked them, I'm like, okay, the plan was to go tomorrow. But do you want to go tomorrow or do you want to go like, and then have like a PJ day on Sunday? It's like, do you want to go tomorrow or do you want to go Sunday and we'll have our PJ day tomorrow? And they're both like unanimously PJ day tomorrow. And I'm like, yep. I support and endorse this decision. I would much prefer our PJ day tomorrow too, to be honest. So we're going to do that, and then I'll work on whatever I'm going to work on tomorrow. Monday is I gotta sew, and then when the kids get home, we'll have to tidy up. Styles is coming home on Tuesday. Tuesday morning I'll be sewing, and then I have my last long run for Osaka Marathon. I don't know how I'm feeling about that. Actually, what is the weather supposed to be like on Wednesday? Because what I was thinking is like 0. Okay, that's not bad running weather. What I was thinking is I might do a split run where I do like... So, I'm supposed to... The program suggests that I do anywhere from 20 to 23 miles. I have not decided how far I'm actually going. We're going on vibes that day, but it has to be at least 20 miles. 20 miles is 32K. So the prescribed length is anywhere from 32 to 37K. 37K, if you're unfamiliar with it, marathon distance is 42.2, or in the case of Japan, 42.195, which is actually the technical modern marathon. Anyway, so if I do 37K. That'll give me a really good idea of what I'm going to feel like 5K from the end of Osaka. In some ways, not in all ways, because like, let's hope that Osaka's a nice day. Hopefully it's not windy and rainy. Hopefully like I don't have any GI distress. Like lots of the other factors, right? All that lovely shit, sometimes literally. But at the same time, I'm like, mentally, I only want to do 20 miles. So I don't know what I'm going to do. But I have a good, like, 11K, 10K loop that I could do in Cochrane. I can't do... Well, I could. You can do 32K in Cochrane. It is fucking difficult. And I don't want to drive into Calgary for it. So I think what I might do, though, to kind of break up the monotony of it is start out on the treadmill, then it'll warm up, and then, like, do part of it, this, like, 10, 11K loop outside, and then come back and finish off on the treadmill. And then it's, I was going to go out with the book club ladies that night, but homeschool info night is that night instead. I'm like, all right, that is the priority right now. Damn it. Because Dallas is totally on board with the homeschooling, but like I've got the specific questions since I'll be the one like doing the majority of it. So, and facilitating, I guess, might be the best description for it. So, okay, that is not gonna work that way. So we'll put this one in, and then we'll grab a second piece, especially since that's this nice light cotton piece up here. Should actually pair up the rest of the cotton linens with a nice light cotton piece so that everything gets pressed under the same conditions. But yeah, we got our ride organized. I've let our neighbors know that we'll be gone. Like, hey, can you just keep an extra eye on the house? Like, that would be amazing, thank you. Actually, I should ask my brother and sister-in-law if I can share their contact details with our neighbors so that if something goes awry, if they notice something, then they can, like, contact them. I'll chat with them later, actually. Not the worst idea I've had. Okay. Just off screen. Getting all these fabrics like ready to go underneath, and I'll pair them up with the heavier strawberry fabrics so that hopefully everything presses well the first time. Sometimes you can do multiple layers, sometimes you can't. These ones look like they're doing decent at least. I just realized I also need to go get myself some more hand dry handkerchief things for Japan. I've noticed that they have a lot more like paper towel dispensers and stuff like that, but honestly, nothing beats a handkerchief for drying your hands in Japan. Realistically, I should be doing it in Canada too, but I just don't even think of it. It's very much a like Japanese tradition I like do typically. But yeah, I got like Santa brought a bunch of hand towels, including for me, which was super nice. And then, but I just realized the kids are stocked. Dallas is stocked. I am not. Damn it. So, I'll just go to like Omomo or something like that on Tuesday. So, I think I even put that on my list for this week. And yes, I could pick them up in Japan, but you know, sometimes it's nice having the stuff before you go, so that you're not like I guess it's not something that I'm super concerned about either, but just not having that on the mental checklist while you're there is also nice. I also know exactly where to go to get some. So, could I take a face cloth? Yes. But Japanese handkerchiefs are way prettier. So. they're not really handkerchiefs. They're like little cotton cloths, I guess. Which, and what I mean by that, they're not like flat handkerchief fabric. They're more, or they are like terry cloth more. There we go. That's what I meant to say. Like more, it's more of a handkerchief weight face cloth, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Filling out the description right now. Just joining. We're working on interface and all the stuff for bags that are technically supposed to be ready for Saturday. Will they all be ready for Saturday? I don't know. Hopefully. Alice is already like transitioning into vacation mode. Yeah, I know that feeling, man. I'm ready. I found a reel of like, basically it's a little gif of Elmo dancing like on a plane landing or a plane takeoff. I don't know. It was footage taken out a plane window, and then Elmo's like dancing in front of it. So I sent it to him, and I'm like, how I feel about Japan right now. And he's like, I'm already so excited. I'm like, good. As you should be. That's what I should actually respond to him with. As you should be. Okay, I think putting the open end, like selvage end in first, actually pressed these better. So let's do that. I feel like, why are you like doing this? It's because I'm trying not to burn myself on that steam up top. So. I am about 10, maybe 12 hours into Empire of the Damned right now. The second in the J. Kristoff trilogy. I did really want to read the physical copy because it's really gorgeously illustrated, but I'm just like, I've been procrastinating on it. In part because I knew there would be a third book out. The third book just came out. But in part because it's like, I don't know. Audiobook apparently right now is just better. The narrator is really good, although now it's a dual narrator, and I don't know if I like the woman's voice. Like, no. I get why, but I don't know if I like it. So I'm like, now I'm in a tough spot. I'm all for dual narration. I still agree with a lot of people who are like, if it's got a male part, it should have a male narrator. And if it's got a female part, it should be a female narrator. Which also then applies if it's a trans part, it should be a trans narrator. Whoever, whatever. Yeah, the first book was all male narrated, because that was the point of view, and then the point of view switched in this book, which I was not anticipating. And I'm like, damn it, maybe I should have read it as a physical, like, hands copy. Bah. Oh well. Cat problems. It's the return of the cat problems. I messaged Nomura and got their permission to do a video in the store. I was actually thinking about today, I should ask if I could like kind of interview them and ask what their favorite fabrics are that day. That would be maybe kind of adorable. I'll find out if they're okay with that. Maybe. Or like who would like to show. Why not? That would be really fucking fun. And it feels like the kind of store that like would... I'm not going to do that in Tomato. A, there's too many employees, and B, I don't know. It feels like I've got a better relationship with Nomura, which is wild to say. Because it's like, how often have I been there in the last little bit? Not much. Twice in like the last 4 years, almost 3.5 years. Oh, that sounds like I need to refill the water tank. We've got 3 more for the Cambridge. And then we've got all the sleeves and the obi to press. There are fun things afoot right now. I'm already plotting for Knit City Calgary. They've just put up the applications for Calgary. So if you want to become a vendor for Knit City Calgary, again, Knit City is in Calgary this year. Yay! I love Vancouver. However, I also am not upset about not having to drive 12 hours. It's a 10-hour drive. Technically 10-ish. But like between stops and everything like that, I think on average it takes us about 12 to 13 now. And Tara and I don't travel fast because what's the point? We're going to get there when we get there most of the time. But yeah, it's like, so my application is in, but if you want to become a vendor, they're posted on the website now and open to the general vendor public. And it's going to be the same weekend, so September 26th through 28th. Oh, right, I was supposed to put more water in. Let's get more water in there. Oh God, it's like dry. Everything has been used. Okay, we can do that then. Pop. We've got fresh distilled water. Also, if you're in Eastern Canada, I love how that like basically applies to a couple of our largest provinces. Anyway, if you're in the Toronto, Ontario area, or able to like access the Toronto, Ontario area easily, Knit City is also in Toronto. Oh God, why are these things so hard recently? Okay, why I ask that is because like my milk jugs have been an absolute disaster to open recently as well. And it's not grip strength, from what I can tell. Ow. My hand. Where's a sharp device to open it up with? There it is. I want my X-Acto knife. At least you know it's sealed. Not like I need to worry about it for the frickin' steam press, but whatever. Yeah, Toronto, I think it's in March this year. Ooh, that was scary. Do as I say and not as I do, and don't do this at home. Hey, but oh God, that's why it's like, that is full to the brim. I don't think I've ever seen, like, this is gonna spill before, as I pick it up. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, look at that. Already spilling, and I haven't even gotten it to the press yet. Yay! It's already enough of a disaster to fill this thing up some days. Okay, that actually went better than I thought it would. Right to the max. Woo! Okay. There. Yeah, I don't know the dates for Toronto because I will not be there. Although I just realized I think Caroline's going to take some of my bags. So we should probably discuss that here soon. Because they, like, you have to ship everything At least they, oh well, yeah, I think they should. Yay, there's more steam now. Do. Oh, I need to get Tylenol, adult Tylenol. I've got kids Tylenol. I'm just like, there's a few things we need to pick up next week for Japan. Tylenol being one of them, because hi. You can get pain relievers in Japan, 100%, but I don't need to mess around with that sort of stuff. Again, I would prefer to spend the time in Japan rather than searching for things in Japan, unless we desperately need to. Am I going to be a walking pharmacy? Probably. Blister pads. Shit like that. I don't have to look for it while I'm there. I know it exists. I already have a plan because I will be on my period towards the end of the trip. But I'm like, okay, that is the one thing. Not carrying pads to Japan. That's dumb. Now, if you're going to Japan and you are a tampon user, take tampons. It's really hard to find tampons in Japan. 100% pack those. I'll probably pack a few just because of the convenience, but I haven't used a lot since kids. But for pads and stuff like that, honestly, I actually like the Japanese pads better than what we have here. We are getting better about it, but when I was on exchange there, they let me take a drink of this coffee and then I can let you know what I was actually going to go to there. When I was on exchange there, how they would actually measure the pads is flow A, but then they'd actually also provide you with the length of the pad. And let me tell you, that was revolutionary. It was so useful. And it's like they actually had pads that would cover you properly instead of these eensy-weensy ones, it seems like, in North America. Why? I don't know. Anyway, Japanese pads are so much better. For me. Mileage may vary. Again, everybody is different. But yeah, if you are a tampon user, take tampons. Pads, though, just buy them there. I also don't want to take up the room in the bag. So. Because it's like, well, it doesn't matter so much going, I guess. It does matter a bit more coming back. But I just don't want to. Like, meh. They are no more expensive there. And part of it, too, is that I usually use cloth here now because I find those even more comfortable. And, but I'm not carrying cloth pads to Japan. Ugh. Gross. It's fine. But, like, it's just easier to do that at home for myself. If you, again, mileage may vary. If you cloth pad out of the side of the house with traveling, all the power to you. But it was actually the reason why I like fully leaned into doing cloths for the kids and stuff like that. It's because I found like for the majority of the time, cloth pads are way more comfortable. So that's why I did cloth diapers for like the first 2.5 years. And then we transitioned out of cloth into like pull-ups because they started care. Well, one potty trained mostly, and the other was like 18 months. So was in care where like they wouldn't work with cloth diapers, which is fine. I get it. But yeah. And if you're looking for what I find to be good cloth diapers, I go with Kawaii Baby. So Kawaii, Japanese for cute. Baby. They are out of Vancouver. I'm pretty sure they import them from China. But they worked really well for our kids. They're adjustable. So we started cloth with our first at about, I think, 4 to 6 weeks. We did do, for both of them, we did do like newborn diapers at the very beginning. mostly because it was like just that transition period. I'm like, do you know what? I don't want to throw in cloth on top of it. And then for the second, I think they were in diapers around week 2, mostly because it was like, well, we're already, we had our first in diapers for a little bit, with the second was firstborn, but then we transitioned them back pretty fast because it was like, well, this is easier, or just as easy as doing diapers. And then you don't have to keep stock of them as much either. And it saved us a lot of money. Holy shit. So much money saved. Even like, maybe not in terms of labor, but like actual dollar bills out of the house. It's so much. And there are cloth diapering services as well. So you like use your cloth diapers. You get so many per week and then you send them away and they wash them for you. I'm pretty sure like that's not something that I could have done with our stock that we had, but in general, it was an option. So I think you like rent them from the company sort of thing. Which is cool. Oh yeah, and then the brand of pads that I use for cloth pads is Hannah-Pad. Hannah. I think they're Canadian and they import Korean cloth pads. At least was my understanding when I purchased them. Don't know if that's changed, but they're like cute patterns and yeah. The maternity set is really nice because it's like, I actually use, well, okay. I thought that I was going to use it more in maternity. However, I had stitches. So that was not fun, but I didn't really notice them actually. But I didn't use the cloth as much as I thought I would. But the postpartum pads are really nice because they're like, now, I use them more now because they're like wider at the back and stuff. So really good set for overnights and stuff like that. Okay. This is a lot faster to press these like this than it is to press them as like individual pieces. Thank goodness. And I can do multiple layers because these are all dress shirt fabrics. So the shirting fabrics are typically a little bit lighter. Probably could also go up to 4 layers with this. So we're going to try that because why not, right? Really. We still have a lot to go. It does feel like we'll get everything interfaced today. And then I know for sure the kids want to come down and do an iPad night tonight. And I am on board with that. So we'll get more pressed tonight as well. Or if we haven't started cutting, I'll for sure start cutting tonight. We will still need to go in and do the cutting of the interiors for a lot of the Aberdeen, or interface the interiors for the Aberdeen. We obviously have not cut them yet. And like some of the plain fabrics that we need for some of the other bags and things. So there's more work to be done. Is that bottom layer actually pressed? Actually, mostly. Okay. It is going to need a second press, but that's fine. We'll let it cool a little bit and that might help. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why that song stuck in my head. Maybe because it feels like a circus right now. Who knows? It's like deceptive outside because it's super sunny and everything, and it looks like it should be super nice. It is up to -12, which isn't actually terrible, but Whew. Deceptive. Okay. Did that catch this time? Well enough, especially if I actually give it a little rub-a-dub. Okay, so it looks like the limit's probably 3 pieces, so we'll just stick to that because it is faster to do 3 pieces twice than to do 4 pieces 3 times. I think. We'll go with yes. I'm not mathing that out right now. If you do, let me know. Great. It's Friday. Kids are out of school early. That's what's happening. They're out of school early because it's Friday. My kids are not. They're still in care. Preschool in care. Do, 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 do. Listening. Some of these shirts are actually really cool for what we're going to get to use them for. I've got like florals. I've got lots of plaid. They're men's dress shirts, so surprise. Not. And then there's like some that actually look like Segai-ha, which I found out actually translates to blue wave. I knew it was a wave pattern because of that's fairly obvious. But the say is actually blue, which I did not know. It's got a whole symbolism, so I'll have to find it anyway. Yeah, so it's just like actually really cool. This one's got like cranes and florals on it. I know. Shush. Can definitely tell which ones were off larger shirts because they are a little bit larger than the ones behind, that's for sure. Oof. 1, 2, and 3 for this guy. And then I'm just going to try and stack them up into their 3s so that it's just quicker to like put them in. And since really it is a set and wait for beep thing, may as well be doing something in that 10 seconds. 10 seconds here, so it's 10 seconds under here. Also, if they're all in a pack, then I am not having to shuffle around this hot sole plate as much. It's popping and hissing at me, so I definitely have caught myself with this one a few times, and it sucks. So yeah, I like to avoid burning myself on my irons. It will 100% happen at least once or twice per season. I think last year we didn't do too bad, but when it happens, it bites. Plus it helps me keep my sanity to stack these up as we go, because honestly, then I'm like, oh, we're almost at the end. Yay! I can see the end. Woo! The little mental gymnastics sometimes. And then once you've actually pressed the fabric, what you want to do is typically put it on a cool flat surface. So that's kind of why I'm just stacking them on the cutting table, is because that's honestly a cool flat spot. Now it's not super cool because everything that you press still is holding on to some heat, but whatever. It's all good. Everything works out. Steam in my face. Okay. So yeah, we got 1 in there, 2, 3, 4, 5 more stacks to go. And then I'm going to go upstairs and use the washroom, because apparently when you chug 2 bottles of water in multiple coffees in the morning, you might need to pee. Maybe. Just maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But it'll be time. It's time now. But I want to finish this section, because then when I come back downstairs, we can do this section over there, that being the obi. So, let's do that. Oh my God. I saw someone fucking cut their welt pockets with a rotary cutter the other day. And I'm like, what is this magic? So I don't think I'm going to experiment with this round, but I'm like, something to keep in mind for future. I never even thought of using a rotary cutter. So I was like just mind blowing sort of thing. But yeah, we're not gonna change any processes right now, because we got enough work to do as it is, and I don't need something messing up. But I will try it in future and see if it's like actually more accurate or more like faster or what. I don't know if there is any benefit to using the rotary cutter versus shears, etc. Who knows? Okay, last 2 sets pressing to do. My body was very creaky in yoga today. I was like, oh no. Sat down, she's like, get into cobbler's pose. And my hip was like, so we need to have a discussion about the fact that you haven't done yoga in a few weeks. And I'm like, yep, I hear you. I'm not disagreeing. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. It's also a spin teacher that I haven't actually had spin with for a while because they usually teach on, or at least previously they taught on Wednesday nights. I haven't actually paid much attention because it's mostly been like, all right, Thursday is the day sort of thing for like just how it's fallen in the run or what I've like fallen into for the run schedule and stuff like that. But yeah, it was good to like, it was a different challenge because of course every teacher has a different teaching style and things like that. And this is one of the OG teachers. So it was fun to go see or go do classes with her. Her first little one was born like a week before my eldest. So we were rocking it out with our prego bellies before the pandemic hit. I wish I'd gotten a photo with her. Like, knowing what I know now, I was going to get a photo with her because I was like, hey, like, not like bump besties or anything like that, but it was just a cute idea at the time. But, yeah, did not act upon that, and then it was too late. Okay, I'm going to go to the washroom, so I'm going to turn this off. It is not unplugged because then I can just flick the switch. And then when I get back, we're going to work on the obi and kimono pieces for the bags. And honestly, it looks like we'll probably get it down to getting, we'll get to the cutting right after that, basically. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, I have returned. I am going to clear this chair off, and we are going to use it for the sitting of the bum, because I'm tired. Let's turn the steam press back on. Boom. Ba-dum. Boom, 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 ba-dum. Da, 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 da. I did get some cucumbers with Caesar salad dressing. And yes, even if they still count as veggies, even if you dip them. And actually, sometimes they count as super veggies if you dip them, because the fats in the salad dressing will help you actually digest the fat-soluble vitamins. Shocking how that works. Okay. And there you go. We're just going to do one layer at a time for the OB because, yeah, I don't know, arbitrariness. Vibes. Because all of this is going off of vibes. That's why. We could probably do two. But actually, we'll do two when there's only like one piece. But when we fold it over, like this piece that just went under, we'll do, yeah. That's what we'll do. You're like, what are we doing, Katie? I don't know. Not even I know. My brain is like just checked out right now. So let's just get this interfacing done. Interfacing done. Interfacing done. Okay, now that I've actually pressed everything, it's a lot. But it doesn't feel like I'm overcommitted. I'm always overcommitted though, so it's like that's not really saying anything. But I'm just thinking it's like it's not actually as much as I thought it was. I definitely did pare down some stuff yesterday because I was like, ugh. The mental gymnastics that I have to go through to make it work right now, it's just like, and with everything else that will go smoother, it's too much. So I did take some of the OB that you may have seen yesterday are no longer on the docket, like the one that nearly melted, and the one that I was dithering about. So there's that. But there's enough. That's part of it. That's why I didn't feel any guilt about kicking them off the docket for now. I have the plans now. Realistically, I will be able to go through and like complete those plans probably in March. But for now, they can just chill. It's all good. They'll be here when I get back. I do need to get a little bit of like room tidy up done probably before I go. I probably should process the rest of these shirts before I go because we are going to come back in and just launch right back into prep, more or less. Yeah. Forgot I still have my phone in my pocket. I should probably go. I'll finish these up and then I'll put it on the charger because then I don't have to get up and down multiple times in the next few minutes. Still need to finish up my taxes. That feels like a next week problem. And there isn't actually too much to do between this week's pop-up and the next week's pop-up. So that's why we're going to work on the custom orders. I do have to cut and sew one custom order this week. 2 custom orders. So that they're done and ready for the pop-up because they're going to pick it up there. But then the remainder of it will be like, yeah, just the custom orders from Black Friday and that other thing. is why it's also like I try to do this interfacing when I'm not like on stream, because honestly it's such an audiobook task. But I love y'all, and I was like, I don't like doing audiobook and stream at the same time. If I could, I did previously, but like now I'm like, it's not cool. Radio silence isn't cool. So I was about to say we're suffering together. I'm not suffering. Maybe a bit. I love being on with y'all. But yeah, this is such an audiobook thing to be doing. I should be using my audiobook. I just realized the other portion of that I should be doing is I maybe should look at cutting down some of those. I know that the cuts for like the Cambridge and the, like a lot of this is rectangular, but having them cut out from the template and just being able to lay them over top of the fabric is really fucking nice. So what I'm just thinking about, I'm like, I wonder what I could potentially lay out as the pieces. Like how large are the actual, like I know the cutting boards I use for my DIY templates. So. This is another piece where we're going to fold it. I think actually we're going to fold it and then I'm going to pop it under like this because that seems to be pressing this stuff amazingly effectively. It is not. Okay, there we go. Trying to get stuff that's like, so it's not crinkled. Let's not press any wrinkles in today, please, and thank you. We will try our best. No guarantees today. Who knows? And then, yeah, we'll have to go in and pair up these bags with lining. That is one of the big pinch points still during this process. And the Cambridges all need some plain fabric cuts as well. So there's still lots of prep work to do. The thing about these ones is that they do come together extremely quick once we're done the prep work. So I'm kind of like, okay, we should in theory be okay. Fingers crossed. But yeah, there's still a lot of work to do there. Okay, if I fold this in half, will it fit on the deck? No, it will not. And it does have a big motif there. So we're going to decenter that motif so that when we're pressing a thin layer and motif instead of double layered on the motif. And I am going to do it half and half here because that, again, has seemed to be more effective. So. And then I guess what I can do is I can fold this end up and press it too. It works. That would work. So now what I'm doing with my heat setting here, even though I suspect a lot of these are silk or silk blends, or potentially even like synthetics, is I am setting it to the interfacing fabric, which I assume is cotton. I haven't scorched anything yet, knock on wood. So we're just going to stick with the interfacing to the obi is typically cotton. And yes, that is where most of my press claws come from, is the obi. So, because I don't use the interfacing from the obi anymore. So I used to, but it no longer suits what I'm making. So we find other uses for it. I did throw out a lot of interfacing last year. So for the obi, I'm really tempted to do a like, the obi themselves are quite heavy because of the interfacing. So I'm really tempted to actually take the interfacing out before I come back from Japan. But I don't know how to do that in a way that it won't mess up the disposal for the hotel, because it's also very bulky. I wonder if there's like textile drop boxes or something like that. I should email the hotel and be like, hey, so dilemma. I don't want to make you mad at me. I don't need to be blacklisted, because I have a feeling I'm going to stay at this hotel quite a bit in the coming years, because it's like, I was looking at Kyoto in October, and even the cheap hotel, or what is usually like a shoulder cost hotel, is like $250 in October right now. And I'm like, oh God. So, and this hotel ranges at typically about $80 per night. So, you know, that's a significant amount of savings. And we want to be able to utilize this said hotel again in future. So, okay, I am going to do this piece in multiple passes because it is thicker. Again, we had that whole discussion yesterday. This is either cotton or potentially raw silk. It's very rustic in its warp and weft. And because of that, it's a lot heavier. So we're going to press it in basically 4 sections. Because we'll do 1, 2, 1, 2. And I've got the other piece for the bottom. That's going to become a traveler sling. Okay, I'm going to do it like that, and then we'll just do the extra little pieces at the end on this side. Yeah, I decided against like a Dundurn mashup of this one because I don't have the proper wax canvas for it right now. So I was like, okay, let's make a traveler sling out of it, because it's a really nice unisex obi for that sort of thing. So, and if you're like, you're also doing traveler slings, hell yeah, baby. Will they get finished? I don't know. I still need to cut all the wax canvas, and I need to still do, like, there's still a lot of prep work right now. So my goal today is to get all the interfacing on right now. And then hopefully, I think the next step, the next step was to actually trim down the obi and kimono, because then that informs how much wax canvas we need to also be like cutting around the for use around the obi. Okay, this one needed this in like trimmed up in the middle because it got warbled when I was doing this yesterday. Fair enough. We're going to flip it, and then I'm going to press a little section over that second opening so that they're like sealed together, sort of thing. Okay. So we're going to start here because that is a lot to deal with otherwise. Okay. Boom. Actually, what we're going to do is we're just going to do that much, because then I will go in and we will put it on. It's definitely adhered. Apparently it got crinkled underneath on itself. Okay, that's fine. We'll just kind of, there we go. And I need a piece to go across to like seal up this. Actually, I'm going to do this from the back. Mostly because flipping that is not going to work right now. That's not far enough down. And like realistically, the reason I don't do it from the back typically is because then you end up with like polyester on your pressing, like on the steam press, but it's all good. There, that's better. What a mess is creativity sometimes. There. Ready. Better. Okay. Then we need to press the rest of it to make sure it's all good. Okay. Okay, so the question now becomes, what do I focus on for cutting? Honestly, as much as I want these done, I think I should focus in on the minis, because everything's ready. Like, so they need to have denim and pockets cut, but they are ready to be, that's the next step. Whereas like these guys need quite a significant amount more work before they're ready to be finished cutting. At the same time, it's like, okay, so do I do the significant amount of work or what? I don't know yet. Or do I take some of the time and sit down and actually sew some of the kato bags that are like waiting to be finished? Also valid, because there's a whole stack on my chair, and that would be the lowest hanging fruit right now. Them and actually the cake cozies, which need to be serged. I dropped the too small piece. Now it's like I don't want to get salad dressing on my fingers. 10 to 3. I feel like I should finish mini traveler cutting. Or at least start on the like cotton for the non-denim parts of it. Crazy. No, because I could trim down the pants and like I would be able to get a lot of the trim down done before I go get my kids. What are we having for dinner tonight? Why is it that always the question? It's like, what are we having for dinner? What are we having for breakfast? What are we having for... I'm like, actually, my eldest today is like, so I did batch prep a bunch of like sausage and egg and cheese, like basically an egg McMuffin home version, which I think is delicious. My youngest really enjoys it. They ate almost their whole one today. And the eldest is just like, eh. I'm like, okay. And so today they were like, can we just have cereal for breakfast tomorrow? And I'm like, well, I was thinking of making French toast. Do you want French toast or cereal? And they're like, French toast. I'm like, okay, that is a good decision. But it was just like, yeah, I know you don't like the breakfast sandwiches. Fine. Still cheaper and faster than going to Tim Hortons across the road, though. So there's that, too. Oh, that's what we'll do before we go. Like trying to think of different strategies for how I'm going to make sure that I do a lot of my jet lag prep before we leave. And one of them is going to be just caffeinating at ridiculous times. Because it's like, whatever if the kids are kind of on a weird schedule, but like I need to be on a more coherent schedule than they do, sort of thing. Because I will be the one doing the talking and the booking. I'm going to blow their tiny little minds though. They know I speak Japanese, right? But like knowing and witnessing are two very different things, I think. Because I was, I found a really cool daifuku in Himeji, or off of YouTube, for a pop-up shop for a shop in Himeji, which is the castle town. And I was like, oh, it's 45 minutes out of the way. But I found them in Kuzuha, which is a 10-minute train ride from Hirakata. So that's where we'll go. Anyway. Long story short, when are they not? When are they not long? I was like typing out a question on this YouTube video, and my eldest was saying there like, you can write Japanese? And I'm like, yes, and I can speak it too. And it's just like, you could just, this light bulb moment, right? So it's really cool because they actually get to start, Japanese lessons next year when they're 6. So that's going to be part of their homeschooling thing. I'm trying to get one of the other moms that's probably going to homeschool, like try to get her to also send her kiddo to it. So that's a little bit cooler. It's already going to be cool enough because they're going to be excited about it since they've been to Japan, I think. And honestly, I think it's going to be really good for me because realistically, I should be able to speak at a grade 1 level. Maybe. Definitely at like a kindergartner level. Hi, I know. You're dry as a bone. Hey? Go get the water. Oh, God. I don't know why my body was so cranky about that. I don't know why my body's so cranky right now. It's like, maybe, because I haven't been doing yoga. That's why. Well, I haven't been, ooh, you need to be tightened up. And that's why you're cranky, I think. Yep, okay. Yeah, definitely need to continue the yoga more regularly. Only reason I've missed it for the past couple weeks, well, I missed it because of Christmas and New Year's because I was going on the Thursdays. And so, of course, they were closed on those 2 days because, Christmas Day and New Year's Day. And then I missed last week. Oh, because errands. It did not work to go to class last week. What was it? It was like, because we had to... It was mostly because we ended up having to go into the city, and then it conflicted with something else that was happening later in the day or something like that. Can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, it was like, nope. Last week was just like, I am complaining about my weeks with how busy it's been for errands, but like the last couple of weeks that Dallas has been home, it's also just been errands, and it's like I get it, we got stuff to prep, but my God, let us just stay home a day, please. Oh, right. It was like stuff like last week was skate lessons. That's what really messed the week up. That's fine. The kiddo needs skate lessons. I can't teach him. I'm a terrible skater. And I hate skating because I like hurt myself so much as a kid. And even as an adult, I'm like, meh. Eh. I could if I wanted to. I don't want to, I guess. I was talking to the other mom, the one that's going to homeschool, and she's like, I want to go skating. I'm like, cool. Let's get them together, and they can all go skating on the pond, and you can take my kids, and I will bring snacks. I'm like, and hot chocolate. And she's like, perfect. I'm like, excellent. That's 100% what we need. So, okay, this one is going to be cranky because it's really thick. So what I'm going to do is we're going to press it down one side and up the other, and that should help it stay even, more even, hopefully. So. Hi. Why are you having issues now? Are your steam... I wonder if the steam bees are clogged. It's hard to tell. It's very dirty. And I don't know how to clean this very well. I tried the I did the sheets. I think I need to take it, give it an actual iron cleaner, like a Rowenta cleaner. My other iron, the sheets mostly worked, but it needs the same kind of deep clean, so I need to track some down. Maple Leaf in town did have sticks, but they didn't have them in stock when I was there, which, boo. So I'll have to see if I can track it down somewhere else. Leggies away from this. It's getting a little bit too warm and steamy. Actually, pushing away might not have been the best. Yeah, whatever. Yep. Okay, so it's gapped right here too. Okay, so that was where we pressed with the steam press. Yeah, this one was not happy about being ironed yesterday. And I didn't want to push it too much because it wasn't working well, and I was a little bit worried about scorching the gold coloring and the yellow here. So sometimes it's better just to do the lightest tack down possible sort of thing. This is the red peony fans with the red with the gold and white gold, yellow gold and white gold. Okay, we're gonna go from, actually we have to go from this end or else it doesn't work. Never mind. I was gonna go from the cooler end, but it's all good. We'll just go from this end. All good. All good. Ow. That was hot. La 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 la. We're almost done. Dun 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 dun. Funny thing about this fabric strip is it's very likely that the obi will actually be some of the first things that get used. All right. I know what I need to do. I just like, wait, there's a lot of fumes from this. And usually I do actually have the cat's bathroom fan running. So I'm going to actually pop that on once this one is done. I'm not opening the windows. Although probably should be because I think this does actually get pretty smoky too. But yeah, I'll start the fan. I think we might start another round, another press cloth because that one turned quite red from this obi. Whoops. I remember that from last time now that it's being presented to me again. Okay, we've got 2 more obi pieces to press and then, yeah. And then we'll, actually 3 more pieces, like 1 full obi and 2 more pieces. I might actually take her up on that. I hem and hawed boat strollers for the kids, and I was able to find a couple umbrella strollers for like 50 plus pounds. They're both too big for them, but I also don't want to be stuck on a timeline, and they're like, oh, and dragging their feet. So, and honestly, just even for the airport, I think they'll be a lifesaver. But I want to be able to gate check them, and as much as I don't think they really need a bag, the gate check bag is extremely bright. It's like warning light red. Bright, 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 bright. So they at least will stand out, so they shouldn't get lost as easily, in theory. And yeah, one of the strollers that I bought, because I bought them both secondhand, came with a bag, so yay. And then the second didn't, so I was just like, I was in my buy nothing group like, hey, can we, is this something that people are looking to give away? And I just got a message that yes, someone was looking for, or has found it. Someone actually messaged me that I could borrow one, but I think I'll just take the one that someone's giving away, because then if it gets damaged, I don't feel bad. Yeah, this needs to go out and have a good clean this summer, because my God, it's actually smoking right now. So, number 1 priority for my steam press this summer, which means I am actually going to open a window. Is it cold? Yes. But better than me breathing these fumes. And I do have the space heater on down here. Actually, I'll probably run upstairs and turn the ventilator on as well. I opened my window because this is like actually smoking when I open it up. So guess what one of the top priorities when it's summertime is going to be? is taking it outside, and yeah, like it's needs some good TLC. Anyway, cat's bathroom fan is on. Window is open so that we get some airflow through, and I'm gonna go turn on the vent fan right now. Make sure that that thing behaves for me, please. Because what that will do is it will circulate out the air in the house. I usually try not to run it at this cold, mostly because it's a waste of energy. This house is not as energy efficient as our old house. I wish it was. The old house had like heat exchange on its ventilator fan. So when you ventilated the house, it was like recouping some of the heat from the air that it was venting out of the house. However, this house just has a ventilator fan. The ventilator fan is very nice, but I hate the fact that you can't recoup some of the stuff. Oh, there we go. Now, yeah, so between the vent and the fan, we are actually getting airflow. Yay. Hey, Flynn. I know, the window's open, man. Go for it. I know. Here, let me move the box so you stop knocking these off, please. He's like, fuck yeah, I want in on this fresh air action. Please, lady. Hey, lady. I want in on this action. Okay, I'm just gonna actually turn it like this so that we can press this end essentially. That one's not open. That's just the heater, man. Mini facials. It was like something's poking me in the mouth from like this snack. There's a piece of peppercorn. Well, that's annoying. Okay, well, at least it's not something like anything that I can't DIY remove. There we go. It's already gone, but mini travelers next. That's what we're going to do. Mini travelers next. And actually the larger traveler slings that are going to use the cotton linen, because we've already marked out the waxed canvas for it, at least on the black. I can't remember if we did the purple or not yet. And then, yeah, and then we're like able to go ahead with those at least. right? Yeah, I'm not crazy. At least not for that reason. Am I crazy for other reasons? Probably. Okay, this one is really thick and heavy, so I will not be surprised if we have to press it like twice on both portions. If we don't have to, amazing. If we have to, I'm not surprised because it is heavily embroidered and it's like, it's dual-sided. It pressed really well under the iron yesterday, so we're gonna roll with it, but nah, guys, we're, never mind. Proved me fully wrong. Love it. Love when things prove me wrong. At least this. On these counts. I need some more air erasing pens when I'm in Japan. I'm like, I gotta go for like supplies and tools, basically. My chalk pens, I gotta get, cause it's, my God, the chalk pen. So some things are the same price. So like the Olfa, we figured out the rotary cutters are very comparable. And I don't have to worry about bringing back a blade and whatever, right? Unless I get there and there's a sale. It's also good to know. I haven't bought one yet, but I do think that that is the next small tool investment. The next big tool investment is still that cylinder machine, guys. Cylinder arm machine. But stuff like the Japanese air erasing pens, the pink ones I use, the chalk pens, the clover ones, both of those are significantly less expensive in Japan. So I need to make sure I get to, I think it was in Semba World Center or something like that. It was in Osaka, a random place in Osaka, that I went that ended up having what I needed. Not fabric-wise, but like they had a lot of the tools, and it was kind of wholesale pricing. Well, no, actually, even if I was just buying Nomura, it's better, but it was cheaper at this place. Nippon Chuko, I think. It was the only place that was open at the time, too, so. Because I was like, hey, everyone's saying that this is a really good spot for, like, fabric, and then nothing was open when I was there, except for this one place, so. And actually, it wasn't even in the Semba World Center. It was just close to Semba World Center, like walking distance. Whatever. Gave me more time to visit with Takako there, which was good. Because I can't tell. She went into hospice 2 years ago. That doesn't mean that she was like, she's gonna die right away, right? Comfort levels. But I haven't seen anything from her recently now, and now I am concerned. And when I emailed her last, she didn't respond, and that is perfectly fine. not expecting a response or anything. But I'm like, the person who is organizing the knit cafes that she was actually attending and stuff like that has completely disappeared off Instagram and everything. And I'm like, oh no. So I'm like, it's wild because it's like some people, I only met her twice, maybe three times. You know how you just make a connection with some people like right away sometimes? She was one of those people. And now it's like, we're going to be in that, forever in that weird spot of like wondering. So, well, for a little while longer, I guess. Anyway, let's get out of the depressing thoughts. And let's cut some minis. Minis. I was about to do a booty shake. Let's do the booty shake. Minis. Okay, all the mini pieces fell off the chair already. Minis. Mini traveler slings. Okay, these all have to be fairly like individual because I want to make sure that we have certain things on all of them. I literally picked up both of the black colored ones. Good. Do actually have my little weight bin right here so we can use that. Sure. Be that dramatic. I was that dramatic by dropping them, but you know, they could have behaved. They didn't have to fall out like that. Oh, we want this way because there's the scally one like Flynn. Wait, no, we can't do that way because, well, we could, but it'd still fold underneath. And then right there, I'll get most of him if I cut it right there. Cool. Now, we did do a lot of the trim down on these already. This is what I would consider a, well, it's completing the cut now. But like, interfacing even the slightest curve up here, absolute nightmare. If you were to do like cut, and then expect it not to like shift around while you're doing it. No, right? Like it's nightmare. Okay. Now I was smart-ish, and I did take pictures of all their denim and all of their pockets yesterday. So in theory, we should be able to match it up decently from the pile because obviously everything got kind of messed up because we were still in process yesterday. Sure. Hopefully not too messed up though because of that preparation. I hope. Okay, I think a lot of these, okay. This one I'm going to be picky about. That one we're being kind of picky about. Okay, I'm going to get the ones that I'm not super picky about, and we're going to pair them up with ones that I am picky about, and then, like, we're good. This one is a weird one and isn't going to be able to pair up with anything. Not picky about that one. I am picky about this one. I am not picky about this one. So it can go under the gate and Myco. Not picky about the birds. That's fine. I am picky about this one because I want to kind of try to center that cable as much as possible. I am a little bit picky about the capybara. So we'll put that with the constellation ones because I'm not picky. Actually, I am slightly picky about this. I want to just make sure that that sheep is on the bottom. And what we're going to do is we're going to justify it. Yeah, okay, good. We'll justify our cuts there. Okay. This one I'm not picky about because it's like a scatter pattern, so whatever. So we'll do that with the fish. The fish. This one is picky. This is probably the pickiest one. So not bad. Not all of them are super picky. Okay, I want... It's forgot to put in egg. Oh. So let's try and get that. Okay. I don't think it's... Okay. It's going to end up on the zipper. I don't think it's going to end up in the zipper. Hopefully. We'll do our best. This is the best we can do with this one for now. This is an OG one. It was the start of the narrative fabrics that I've bought of Polar Bear and Penguin. They are cooking pancakes. I'll cook. I'm hungry. And yeah. Oh, right. And I should actually do the little snippies right now instead of having to do them after I've sewn them to the zipper. Because they can happen after the zipper, but it is a pain in the butt. So let's get a pair of snippers. I just realized I am back towards the desk over here and not further out into the room anymore. All right, so the pattern has to do the fold line. You're supposed to clip it on the fold line. That's something I always forget to do while we're doing this part. But again, may as well do it now because then when I'm like sewing it, I don't have to worry about it after I've put the zipper in. Which of course is when you like remember to do it is afterwards, and it's a pain in the butt. The other thing I probably should do is I probably should actually pop the like stabilizer on the back of that really for the snap while we're here, but meh. I can do that later. Good. Of course. Come here. There we go. Why the angry duck noises? Man. Better than angry cat noises, I guess. Really? Which would you prefer? Angry ducks or angry cats? Angry cats. I'm going to answer that myself. Angry cats. Well, no, it depends on what kind of angry cat it is. Because I know that... So when I was a kid, this does loop back to angry cats. I tripped over... We had like a dog gate set up across the hallway. I was rushing to do stuff. And I tripped over the gate and crashed my face into... So I ran into the pantry wall won, essentially. I was really lucky that basically they said that if I'd been like a tiny bit lower, they wouldn't have been able to stitch it. I definitely do have scar tissue. I think it was like 5 stitches or something, and I had a shiner for a significant amount of time. However, I howled. This is the funny part, actually. And this is when my cat Snookums was still alive, Snooky. And Mom came to check on me, and this cat actually attacked my mom because he was trying to protect me. He thought I was, or she was the one attacking me, instead of my own stupidity running me into the wall. It was an accident. It's not actually like something... It was preventable, but like not my fault at the same time. No fault accident. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what you would qualify that under. Kid. And then we went and watched the 2 towers because we had to be in the city anyway. All right. Hell yeah. Angry apron cat as a mini traveler sling. I don't know of one that's much better. Well, honestly, there's lots that are just as good. But, okay, now let's see what we get when we do this. We get those guys. And if we do this one over here, we get those. And what happens if I swap them? That's going to need a little bit extra of a press down. That's okay. That's better than having that crease there. Actually, this over here does, I like that. Because then we get a good chunk of this. We could shuffle so that we get that, like that. Is it wide enough though? No. Okay, I can't shuffle that far. But if I did it there, and here, hell yeah, that looks good. Scoot this so that that's the one that's kind of the focal point here. Okay. Make it a little bit straighter. Good. Okay, let's do the snip snip. Oh yeah, that looks good. Snip. Did I? Yeah, okay, good. I was like, I'm pretty sure I did the snips on that one, but let's check to double make sure. We'll double check. Yeah, double check. There. La 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 la, my brains. Okay. Oh yeah, never mind. It's this way. I can see it because the curve is at the top. And we're gonna pop this right here. And this is going right here because then we get butt cat and we get the little happy black cat there as well. Good. Okay, let's go. Wee. Good. Wee. Good. Wee. Good. Trim off the bottom here too. So I did actually see a suggestion for these because, as I don't know if you've watched for a while, you know how normally the fronts and the backs don't line up. I'm not the only person who has this issue. Some of them do. Lots of them don't. Probably a zipper installation thing. Am I paying enough attention to figure out? No. But, however, someone was like, yeah, just cut your backs out afterwards. And I'm like, that's actually kind of too smart for me, I guess. So we might do that on this round because like we could get all the front done and then we could cut the back out of the denim technically. That would be fun with the figuring out which pants are for which though, I guess. That might be the drawback to that plan. But you know, it's not the worst one. Or I just trim it down. I don't worry about it. I have a feeling for this round, at least, that's the kind of chaos we got to lean into. None of us need that song in our heads. What was I was watching a reel earlier, and it was the Mana Mana song from the Muppets, and the guy was going around the office doing Mana Mana, and as soon as he did it, I was like, do 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 do. And obviously, since this is stuck in my head all day, it needs to be stuck in your head all day too. Because, yeah, it took him like 5 or 6 times before he finally found someone who would like do the rest of the song. It's like, what? Unless my eyes were mistaken, this, like, most of this gentleman's coworkers, he was definitely older than me, but most of his coworkers were either my age or younger. And I'm like, what went wrong that you've never heard the Mana Mana song? Or am I just that chronically online? I'll take that too. It's totally possible. Okay, so obviously this one with the koi is going to have a black and gold zipper, since it's like black fish with gold scales, or gold scale highlighting. Go. Gonna scoot this over here and up there, and then we're gonna trim it down, trim it down, trim it down. Then we're gonna go through and trim it down. Mana mana. No. I will say it's better than the Baby Shark song, though, at least. I'll take Mana Mana over any other one. Alright. Yeah, God. I'm hoping that does that crease come into this? Yes, it does. Damn it. I was hoping that it wouldn't. Okay, so that is the center right there. What I'm doing, because these are cables, is I'm centering it actually to the center line of the cable, because why not? Makes the most sense. There we go. Nope. Except that I am not on the bird fabric. Okay. I think I checked that. I wonder if it's supposed to go this way. That could actually be the case, because this is a very comparable size cut on both, like in both directions. It's not a square, but it is very close when I'm just doing the easy hack down. Okay, yeah, it's because that is supposed to be like that. Okay, there we go. Bloop. Then center enough at least. Do 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 do. should actually start a count for what leather we need as well while we're doing this, I guess. Although I'm done, so oh well. Okay. Right, we did this in such a way that we don't have the snap on her face. Okay. And are we still on the scooters? Kinda not really. Okay. Scoot it down a little bit on the scooter fabric because there we go. We have more room on the bottom of the Myco than we do on the top of the Myco cut. There. Actually cutting it in half would also be useful. La 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 la. Okay. Oh, they're so pretty. I love these guys. Why did I... Whatever. Put it back on. Do the snips. Okay, now we're going to do pockets. And then we're going to do... How are we doing denim? I don't know. Depends on how long pockets take, I guess. But there are all the minis ready to be paired up back up with their pockets and their denim. They need zips. But we're done with this part of the template, so I'm going to pop it back over here. We need this piece and we need this piece. That's a pocket piece. Denim piece. Pocket. Denim. Pocket, denim. These are all spare pieces, so I'm just going to ignore them for now. They're going to go, I'm going to pop them back in the magazine bin. Oh my god, it happened again. Should have not put that small piece of cucumber back in. I was like, denim! No, we're going to do the pockets because they are easier to access and they're taking up a significant amount of room on the ironing board. All right, so first things first, let's pair all of these guys up. Okay, so denim, I'm going to put the denim cut ones on the ironing board. So if I ask you later where they are, they're on the ironing board. I'm also going to close my window. So we've definitely aired the basement out. There we go. Okay. Why was that wet? Everything's okay. It's all good. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I closed it, buddy. Sorry. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm going in the fabric room, Mom. Mom! Okay, so I think the best way to do this is to lay it out this way. Yeah, because then both the tower placket pieces fit together better. Okay. Because then they match here, because I cut all the tower plackets out from the, so the cuff comes off, and then the placket that actually goes up into the sleeve also gets taken out. I'm going to actually move my face cam because we're working further over on this side. So there's 0 point in this being here, really. My video. can go over here. And you can actually see what, oh my God. That's what I wanted to do first. You were like, no, you can't do that. Haha. Oh, come on. Very persnickety. There we go. Good enough. Anyway, since I'm like working up here and I'm like, wait, you can barely see anything because my freaking face is in the way. Can barely see anything anyway because I'm working on the outside of the field of vision of the camera roll. Okay. This one's quite large. Probably translates to more pieces, but it'll all depend here. Ugh, gross. Okay. And in some cases, you might actually want to cut these. Okay, I'm going to mark this one mostly because there is a little bit of damage on the actual sleeve here. And I don't really want to put that into a pocket. However, I am going to just mark it with a pen. One of these error erasing pens. Because then we can plot around it a little bit better. Okay, so far so good. Okay, there's a pair up here. Why did they end up so like messed up, like mixed up? Like, I get it, but I don't get it. Because, like, realistically, we were doing them in pairs. So what the hell happened that I ended up with them, like, scattered? And these are not something that I can go in and cut multiple, like, I can cut 2 sleeves at once. That's it. Granted, that is a full set of pockets, so yay. But we can't do like 2 sets of pockets because that's madness. That way lies madness. Complete and utter. Okay, this like one with the eyeballs. That's what it looks like to me anyway. It's like an abstract pattern, but that is actually lining for belt bags. So I'm gonna pop it on top of the belt bag. Thingamabobber. Hey Flynn. What's up? Really? Oh, that's quite a statement. Hey, sweetie. What's up? Yes, you are a cat, I know. Yes, you are a very fluffy cat, indeed. What's up? Yes, this table is yours, obviously. It's like rubbing against the table. Okay. This one's going to go in the hedgehogs. Olive hedgehogs. It's super cool. Okay, there's its pair up. This one is going to be interesting because I did tear it quite significantly. So we'll see if I can use that portion, like how I'm going to lay this out. If it works, if it doesn't, well, we will kibosh that bag for this round and then figure it out for later. Same with that other one that has damage as well. Actually, I should have just pulled it as like special cases, but whatever, I didn't. Apparently I should have been trimming this down more last night. But at that point I was just like, let's get this done. Crane pieces. I'm glad I took photos of what these all pair up with because I definitely don't remember. I think the cranes are with the fans? That doesn't feel right, but I don't know. I know that the one that we'll have that's like the blue Segai pattern will be with the Maiko, because I leaned into that, obviously. But I don't know a lot of the rest of it. Meow. Hey, you. Why are you starting to be a pest right now? Why? Okay, apparently some of these didn't get pressed fully. Whoops. So that's something that might need to be fixed depending on how we have to do the layout, but that is a bridge we'll cross when we get to it. Or burn when we get to it. Who knows? Maybe we'll burn it. Like, it just got dark. What time is it? But it's only 4:45. Only. It's 4:45, which means that, but the sun went behind like a cloud. It's like, oh, okay, fine. I guess. So there's that one. Those are two very similar looking shirts, to be honest. Both a little like scattered floral patterns. I hope I don't have unprepared ones in that pile currently that we pulled because we had extra denim. Is that a comfy desk? Good. Okay. Flynn has settled at a child's desk. On the desk, of course, because why not? Okay, there we go. So that is all of them ready to go. And then that's a good button. That's a good button. The rest of this isn't really good buttons. It's just actually pretty. This is mostly stuffing, so we're going to put it in the stuffing bin because I can't imagine anyone needing scraps of that size for like sewing and stuff. I guess if you're English paper piecing like a doll quilt or something, but yeah. Caffeination. Caffeination. Caffeination time. There. Why? Ugh, so much static. We will need those, and I am going to need my handy dandy Bic pen. And then it doesn't matter. We're going to cut. Then we're going to do the other stuff, which is matching up with the bags that these are supposed to go to. Oh, you can go in the placket? Really? You're just really tall, so you do need to go maybe here, and then you go here. No, because you're like, where do we put the slip pocket? Nope, 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 nope. Okay, there, and there, and there. Breaks all the rules of grain. Can you go in here? Not comfortably, because that's the seam. Just given where you're going to be sewing, we don't want no seams on you. Oh, there we go. Okay. And scoot you up, and you there, and you there, and then honestly, because this is like a larger sleeve, I'm going to break my own rules. Pop. And we're going to do 2. Especially because, again, because this is like quite a large sleeve. Oh, except, no, it won't matter though, because like, oh no, the plackets don't line up, but it doesn't matter because we're cutting everything from here. Woo! Okay, so the diagonal seam, like what are we calling this right now, right? And then slip pocket right here, and then the back of the pockets right there. Okay, right. I don't know why the fake French accent, guys. But never a Japanese accent. Because, yeah, I think we can all agree on why that would be a terrible idea. Hopefully. Okay. And yes, I am 100% marking a rectangle. Because if I don't mark the rectangle, guess what happens? Bad things. Oh God. Say as this welt pocket moves. Now typically, I think I use my shears for this. But apparently today we're using a rotary cutter. Because I'm not cutting through 4 layers. Technically, like 6 layers. I would count the interfacing as half a layer. Because it does add body, but it's not like as heavy as the cotton. And again, shirting is a different weight from quilt cotton as well. So it is a little bit lighter. So maybe 5 layers. I don't know why I'm cutting like that. That's a dumb way to cut it. Don't cut back and forth like that. Do as I say, not as I do. Yay. First 2 sets of pockets getting done. Getting done. I know there's an easier way to cut the corner just like that. Okay. And we're going to cut. Actually, I'm going to cut straight across here. I do still try to preserve a lot of this fabric as well for like bookmarks and things like that. So I'm going to cut this as rectangular as I can, and then we'll do our trim downs, because especially with that striped one in the back, that's a lot of extra fabric that we can use for other things. So what other things? Mostly bookmarks, actually. So just like that. If there's any bookmark material there, I don't know. But I do like preserving these larger, like as large a piece as possible, because if I can, I'll use it for something else. If I can't, it goes in the stuffing bin, and that's fine too. Sometimes you need big pieces of stuffing. And people can always trim it down afterwards. All right. Yay! 2 sets done and ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go. Okay. These ones are definitely like, those are stuffing scraps. Those are usable. These are not usable by us. Nope. Nope. And then I think this side of the placket might be usable. The rest of it is not, I don't think. Just like that. That might be. So I'll keep that top portion, but like this stuff in here definitely is not. Like that. And then if we're using anything, we're using this side of the placket. Now that I've trimmed it down though, I think that's too small. But we'll keep it around for a little bit. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt to have it for a bit. Until it overflows the basket, which it totally is already. La la la. Doo doo. That's how the kids and they're like little sing songs a lot of the time. Is it's like sing 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 doo doo. It's like, all right, at least I know that the song's done some days. Okay. Arm sizes are lined up, which means I can see the placket portion down here a little bit better. You look like two very similar sized. Oh, you're not as tall. Oh, interesting. Okay, so let's line up the top of the placket then. I guess might be the best. Oh, most of the plackets are probably about the same height. Never mind. And then I think this one is slimmer and longer as well. Okay, so it probably shouldn't be the one on top, but we're good. Are we gonna do 6? Why not? Let's do it. Are we crazy? Yep. Yep. It's all good. Okay, so it mostly looked like it lines up here, right? Yeah, and then this guy right in the like cuff area. Good, right? Yeah, actually that was easier to lay out than the first one. What the hell? Okay, let's just make sure. Yes. This one's as wide. It's just not as long as the say guy. Ha. Yes. 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 And cuff edge. This could scoot up. There we go. Yes. Yes. 1, 2. Ooh, not 3, 4. Okay, do you know what we're going to do? Is we're going... Oh, no. Can we? I was like, I'm going to butt this up together. Ha ha ha. You are two straight edges, but never mind. Okay. I think if I just move this up, we're good. 1, 2, 3. Is that fabric we're interfacing? 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. All the layers are like there, and I'm going to scoot it down just the barest tick. Okay. Wee. 1, 2. Oh boy. Okay, and scoot this in. Actually, I'm going to line this up here with this one, because then I know for sure that all 6 layers of this are accounted for. Really, that makes sense too, because these are both mostly straight edges on that side. Okay. Rotary cutter, rotary cutter. Do 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 do. Oh God. Okay. Once I'm done this, we'll definitely need a new blade. Okay, we're just gonna go straight across, because hi. There's no preserving that otherwise. We will not be able to use that or that. We will be able to use this one. Plonk-a-donk. Okay. Make sure all those layers are as aligned as I can get them. Do not cut towards your arm like that, Katie. That was dumb. Do not do that. Do not cut towards your arm like that. Rotor cutters are actually kind of fucking terrifying. And they can be they can do some nasty damage, like to the point I should actually have some like safety gloves on right now. Because I've definitely seen some people do some damage to their fingers. Which is also why I try and work as far away from my rotary cutter as possible. You may notice I usually try not to have my finger in the cut line. Try being key there. Is it perfect? No, and that's probably the problem, is it's not perfect. So I think I need to invest in a couple small tool upgrades in like some anti-cut gloves and the trigger handle rotary cutter this year. Because here's the thing, the more safety, like small safety things that we do that way, the more we can enjoy our craft. really, the longer we can enjoy our craft. Because here's the thing, if I cut a finger, it's unlikely that it will recover very rapidly. Or there's a potential for that. I also don't need to cut a finger right now, right before Japan. I would be so upset. We are trimmed down. Okay, we're going to trim down that portion, and also we're going to trim out the tower placket piece because I will not be using that side of it. However, I'm going to leave this intact because I have a feeling that might be a bookmark size, but again, not going to hurt to hold on to it until we do our next round of bookmarks, really. So, all right, this one's quite small. This one is quite large, so actually, and the next one is quite large too. So let's get the larger pieces here because they're just, they may as well go on the bottom because it's easier to like account for them because they're larger. And then where's the placket? The placket is over there. Okay, so we're going to line up to the placket edge and to the, yeah, placket edges. Make sure these edges are aligned more or less. Yeah, those edges need to be aligned. What did we just do? We did like 3 layers, so let's do 3 layers for this one. Okay. Scoot you down so that all of these get on there proper. Yeah, cool. Scoot you up just that tick. There we go. Okay. Zoom, 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 zoom. At least we're not singing the doom song. But apparently it is vocal stim day. Sorry, guys. Alrighty, let's get there. I think maybe starting that way might make my life easier at least. Yes. 1. Okay, again, no to the first 2 and yes to the last one. Although it's going to need to be re-interfaced before we use it, that's okay. That's an easy fix for fabric. Good, good. It's stuck on the bottom layer. Okay, 1. 2. 'Then Oh, God. Okay. At least I made it too big and not too small. Okay.
Hey, let's finish cutting this down and then we'll figure out how to fix it.
Okay, and then that's just done. Okay. Coolio. Okay. All right. That is the alignment on that side. That is aligned at the top, and now we just need to trim down this layer and everything up this side. So I was like, oh God, I don't want to. This business is already enough work. We don't need it to be messier. Okay. We should realistically only have like 3 or 4 more cuts, because I'm pretty sure there was like 15 here once we'd actually like gone through and done what we were going to do. That does not mean that I had originally selected 15. I definitely missed some. But I think it was around 15 that we ended up like truly putting into production this round, which is why I'm like, I want to get these done, because realistically that would be a good number to have. Because yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. 4 more cuts on. Ish. Probably 5, because we'll have to do some finagling with the broken ones. Get out of here. Okay. So it's been working that this goes here. This goes here, and this goes tight. Very, 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 very tight. Oh God. Okay. Here. Boop, boop. He. Nope. Definitely not. Okay. Here. Yes. Here. Squeak. Nope. Shit. Can it go in the placket? That can go in the placket. Can this go up here? Yes. Right there. As long as this works for all of the pieces here. This works here. Actually quite well. The other thing we could do is we could actually do it this way. Because it doesn't matter as long as one is mirrored. So really, who cares? There we go. And then this should, I'm going to scoot this up because that then should have lots of room on this placket. Okay. 1, 2 pieces. We're right on the edge of the crane pieces, and we're right on the edge of the florals. However, there is a lot of space over here. So let's scoot the boot. Scoot the moody boot. Okay. Yes. There. And then I'm in on the seam allowance on this side. We're within the fabric on the placket cut. Good. All right. Yeah, there it is. I can see it pretty good. Okay, we're going to shuffle it so that there is a fold up ability there. Okay, and then that's definitely within the placket fabric for the floral at the bottom. Okay, and then is this still there? Just scoot it off of the seam there. Good, and then this just scoots in right here like that. We already checked that. These can align here, and that can scoot in over here. And are we? Oh, we're just on the edge of that. Okay, we're good. We're good. It's tight, but it's okay. Everything will be fine. Okay, I'm going to move that before I draw that line. I'm whispering so we don't scare them out of their possessions. Because you know that's how this works. Probably like more like a toddler though, where it's like, or like a baby, where they can sleep through the apocalypse, but then like one tiny squeak on the floor and they're like, no. Who am I to say though? Because honestly, my kids have co-slept. Like, okay, so I will say it's like, I would not have survived children if I did not co-sleep. Co-sleeping is very safe if you do it correctly. and lots of cultures do it correctly. So like we followed a lot of as many of the safe rules as we could. Like one of the big ones being neither of us are smokers. We were never overly intoxicated. Like we would have a beer, but we wouldn't be drunk when we went to bed with baby. All of that. But it was like we hit 4 months with the eldest, and yeah, Dallas was at work, and I just went, nope, because they were waking up in their bassinet this was the eldest, like, so much. And then with the second, it was just like, all right, into the bed. I think the rule with the youngest was I wanted them in their bassinet for the first 2 months, because there is a significant SIDS risk drop at 2 months. It's like kind of that first milestone of that. And as much as like co-sleeping should not cause SIDS, it was just like take out some of these factors that could potentially impact it. Anyway, I forgot that we did actually do that. We did do 2 months in the bassinet, because by the time we went to Victoria, they were co-sleeping, which they were about 4.5 months, and thank goodness, because they started teething on the Coquihalla on the way to Victoria at 4.5 months, when they couldn't hold nothing to their mouths. It was brutal. And then I broke my ankle. Poor Dallas. I can't believe I am that mom, though, of like, we went on our first family vacation and then I got like super injured. Thank God we were in Canada. Like, all things considered. Yay! 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 One more. Yay! I think we should tackle that broken one next. Yeah, let's do that, because then it's not hanging over my head, right? 4:15. Okay, so I think we'll get all the pockets cut down before I head out. I don't know if we'll get all the... I don't think we'll touch the denim before that point, but it's okay. Okay, I'm going to draw a line where that is. So basically I tried to be smart, because you can basically just tear the button bands out of dress shirts, and so that's what I've mostly been doing, because hey, it doesn't cause any more damage to the fabric. I'm going to interface it anyway, blah 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 blah, right? Yeah, joke's on me. It does not work with arm sizes. So let's see if we can fit this around that, and if we can, I think we might be able to do if I do this smart. Boom. Okay, so in this case, smart is on this side for that. Slip, and then the back pocket in the placket, cut. Just make sure that those are both aligned properly, so that we like that. Excuse me. Okay. And then, oh my goodness, it's gonna be so close that I can't do it. Okay, let's try. Okay, so slip pocket here maybe, or slip pocket this direction. Okay. Oh, we might be hooped. Okay, let's see. Scoot. Scoot. Nope, nope, nope. I think we got it. I think I got it. I can make it work. Yay! I'm making it work. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, because the split ends up right there, so I will scoot this down as... Oh, shit. Oh, no. That layer of fabric is not as far over. Okay, if I angle this just a bit on the slip pocket, are we okay? Or do I just... like that? Like that. Okay, and then if I scoot, that has to scoot down anyway because of that. Now we're good. Now we're good, and we're going to straighten that because, honest to God, if that plaid isn't mostly the correct direction, I will actually lose my mind. Okay. Good. 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 Disaster averted. Barely. Wee. 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 Why not zoom this time? Who knows? Apparently not zoom this time. Of course. Okay. Wee. 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 Okay. Wee. Oh God. Now it's crooked. Blah. Zoom. Zoom. Okay. There we go. All right. Next set of pockets, next set of pockets, next set of pockets, I got it to cut. Next set of pockets, 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 pocket, pockets. And that looks like it. Well, the one piece is definitely large enough for a bookmark, and I'm thinking the second piece around this tear probably is too. Like that. Not that I'm like sorting them still, and it's like the chair is just like coated in or covered in scraps. So I'll still have to sort them out later. I don't know why I'm trying to do it right now. One task at a time. One task at a time, or else it's too distracting. Doesn't work for production sewing. Okay. One. I'm really glad that that worked. I was going to be very upset because I really like this pattern as well. This like color is really cute. And I think it's paired up with the polar bear and penguin pancakes. So that's part of it too. So I'm like, I don't want to skip that one if I don't have to. Probably would have pilfered one from something else to do it, to be honest. Okay. There we go. Let's just get cut straight across and then we're done. This one. Yay! Yatta! Yatta! 20 after 4. Let's finish the pockets. Still don't know what we're doing for dinner. Fish and chips and peas. I need to call my pharmacy, I just realized too. Yeah, there's a few big things left to do this week, which I gotta remember to do. Gotta remember. There's a few big chores still to do. Gotta remember. Still some big important chores to do. Okay, this is the other odd man out for now. And then giant large sleeves, not giant sleeves, large sleeves. Generous fabric sleeves. Also with some cute patterns. Okay, so there's one more small one, I think, for there. Smaller. Length and width. Good. How are we doing for matchups on these guys? Pretty decent, I think. There we go. Yeah, good enough. Okay, good. My phone is actually over there to like charge, which is good. Okay. Got distracted. There was nothing to distract me with, and I got distracted. Story of the day. Story of the day. Katie gets distracted by everything. Story of the day. Actually, that looks like a better pair up here. Let's just make sure that all our arm sizes are here. Good. Yeah, that corner is on all of them. Gonna scoot it down just a tick here. Definitely over here we're good. Definitely down here we're good, right? Let's scoot just a tick this way. As long as we're good on this bottom layer, I think we're good. Okay, actually, I'm going to tick that way. 1, 2, definitely on these top 2 we're good. And then I think we're good on the bottom one as well. Yeah. Yeah, okay, there's the seam line. Just worried about this placket. No, we're good there too. Okay, cool. Okay. Again, we're going to do this. Big wobbly old line. There, so we're going to do the majority of that. And then we're going to cinch up this one right here. And just make sure that we're like actually going to match. There we go. Actually, I think that first line was going to match better. Yes. Okay. Around. Over. Yay. Okay. And actually, if I scoot this up here, there's zero worry about it in the tower placket, I don't think. So it also gives me a little bit extra room on that bottom. Yeah. Wee. 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 Okay. Good. Alrighty, let's get this one cut. We'll get through all these pockets today, which is nice. Very nice. All those, so all the minis will be, we'll have everything except their denim prepped. We do have to still do their denim, which I guess is what I do next when the kiddos are home, probably, just so that we're like good to go on something. The Kato are ready. The Kato are ready to go. I will be making those at least. But yeah, these will be a good option as well. Excellent. Excellent. Down. Down. Wee. Okay, good. Across. Wee. Okay, last set here. Last pocket. Okay, good. Wee. Okay, now I don't think any of those are set up for. No. Again, it's not like I don't have to sort through this chair again. Okay, good. There is still fabric on both of those. On all those cuts. Okay, and then this is definitely good bookmark territory right here. I think. Yeah. I love that so many of the bookmarks are actually going to be from the dress shirts from the Mini Travelers things. Like, yay. It's exciting because it gives the bookmarks a good personality as well. Don't hold your breath while you're cutting. That doesn't need to be done. Why are you doing it anyway? Okay. 3 more sets of pockets. 3 more sets of pockets. Hi-ho the dairy-o. 3 more sets of pockets. This one is damaged, so let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get a set of pockets out of you. I think actually we can, because most of them haven't gone into this area now that I actually look at it. But let's see. Okay. So that can go up there, and then plunk, 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 plunk. Easy. All right. So let's actually pop it with the, how many are here? There's 3 there, and there's 1 more here. So we may as well do 2 more. So 3 cut and a 2 cut. Whee! Except we want this on top, and I still want to see that damage marker. We could also put this here, and this here, this here, and this here. Good, good. So if that doesn't fit, like if I put it here, it follows the arm size better. And if I pop this here, it uses this fabric more effectively. And then these can back to back here, and we can just do one straight cut. And actually, if I go all the way down like that, right to the tippity top of this, that is a nice straight line cut right there as well. Okay, let's just make sure we're good there. We're good on the plackets. Okay, good. Let's mark it down. Let's mark it down. We're marking it down. Scooch you off of that. Scooch you off of that. Okay, so like that doesn't actually need a straight line anymore on the bottom. Except for the portion that overlaps or is larger. Same here. We're just going to go down, across, and up, and across, like that. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, that was one of the songs I introduced the kids to this Christmas. I'm pretty sure we've listened to it before, but I think this is the first year they've actually like listened to it. But we got to do Six White Boomers, which is like one of my favorite Christmas songs. And then I ended up with a bunch of Aussie Christmas songs, and I was like, yep, this is definitely very different from what we get in Canada. Anyway, they like Six White Boomers. I love Six White Boomers. One of my favorites. Yeah, you just messed up all the layers by pulling the bottom layer out. Meh. Basically what I'm doing right now when I'm holding on to it like that is I'm providing tension to it, kind of as a weight, to like hold all the layers together in theory or in thought process. That is my thought process. And it provides tension, so it's a little bit easier for the rotary cutter to cut through as well, which means I probably need to change my blade again, but we literally just changed the blade, so I need to avoid that as long as possible. Okay, what madness is going on here? All right, the floral is a larger sleeve, taller. Okay, and then I think that's a little bit, and then this one is a little bit wider, and then I think this one is again a little bit taller. So, excuse me, to make this work, we're going to put these two together here. Actually, no, we're going to, yes, okay, because it's kind of wild, but it does look like the majority of the tower plackets are actually about the same size, which is nuts. Okay, so the skinniest or the narrowest one is this middle one, so we got to pay attention to it. The shortest one is the top one, so that makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so we are going to pop this in there because that is the angle of the arm size. And then we're going to pop this in here right beside it. And we're going to put this one right there. But we're going to scoot everything up just a tick so that that can settle in right there. Okay. No, right there. Damn. Why do you gotta be the smallest? Hard to check this middle one. Yeah, those florals are a bit tight too. So let's scoot in here. 1, 2. Ooh, you are just a tight fit. Okay. Nope. Doesn't quite fit. Doesn't fit that way either. Okay, let's scoot you down as far as we can get. Scoot you over, because here's the thing. This is, okay. Now in the arm size of the 1 and the 2 and not the 3, because the 3 is not actually aligned with its own piece. Okay, 1 second. Bloop. Bloop. There we go. Okay, so they are aligned. Our tower blahs are aligned. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And then this guy is aligned as well. And then they're all even across the bottom. And they're all fairly, yeah. Okay. That didn't work. So what if we put this here? 1, 2 arm size. 3, 4 arm size, or at least close enough. And actually, what if we were to flip it and put the curve there? I think that'll make everything happier. Okay, and then this here. And this here. Definitely that there. I'm like, if I have a little bit to scoot around there, this could use a little bit of breathing room because we're right on the seam there. Damn. Okay. Oh, right. This is aligned on the plackets. What am I doing? Because then this can scoot. Actually. Okay, 1 second. Okay, aligned on the placket. Should be mostly aligned there. Then my angled pocket here, angled front pocket, because where's the edge of that middle piece? It's right, oh, I can feel the seam. Okay, there's the seam. We don't want to go past that. And then where am I here? Good. Mostly good. This can actually scoot down further here with this here. Okay, how are we here? It feels like we're inside all those seams. Hell yeah, we've done it again. Just remember this when you're looking at upcycled pieces. It takes a lot of work to make sure everything fits. Everything fits. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to snug these up. Same as what I did, and then we're going to, actually this, I'm going to move this up. Because if nothing else, that puts it into the wider section. There, and then we can just, I'm just going to snug everything like we did last time. Sweet. Okay, doom, 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 doom. And I think I already did this line, but we'll redo it because why not? Okay. Then we need to do zoom. Wee. And then snug these back up and just do this last little bit right here. All right. Last set of pockets we need to cut for the minis for this round. Yay! Okay, and then 2. Wrong spot. Those aren't the scraps. Those are the cuts. Whoops. And 3. Cool. Okay. All of the buckets are done. It's 20 to 5. Okay. And I think it's time to head out. Go get the kids. Come back. Well, no, it's 20, it's still 20 to 5. Okay. I can at least like get set up for my next cut. Oh, actually, I know what I'll do next is I'll snag the, if I can find them, the, oh my goodness, they're there. The traveler sling stuff. Pop. Come on out, my pretties. Cool. Oh, that's why you had a bit of a time. There's multiples there. Okay. Whoosh. Whoosh. Okay. Actually, no, I am going to head out because I need to go to the washroom. And then when I get back, this is the thing that I will work on first, is getting the traveler slings trimmed and ready to go. Only the Myco need a fussy cut. The rest of them I'm just going to cut. And these are going to be paired up with waxed canvas to make a cotton or cotton linen. These are all cotton. Actually, no, they are not. Okay. These are what we're going to make a new product from, of like cotton and cotton linen blend traveler slings. So, oh yeah, and I've still got, actually, let's do this set, because this is for the belt bags that are actually ready to go. So let's do this. And then I'll head out. Okay. Belt bag, belt bag. Okay, so this is the back, which needs a, this thingamababa. What is on the back of you? Nothing. Something. Water. Weird. Okay, so one here, I think. Doom, 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 doom. And then I was going to do this. I actually want to do it. Oh, right. That's what was happening. 1, 2, because they'll be opposing sides. Because there's, okay, let's actually center it here, maybe. Was that it? No, that is not it. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this was the, this is what we're doing here. Okay. Now why though did I cut it in a curve? Because here's the thing. Did I do this? Should be weird. Well, they would both work though. And then I'm pretty sure the side pieces were we're going to do 2 here. Like so, 1 here probably. And 1 here. Nope. Not like, okay, so that was the one that I did there. One like this, so that they both run the same direction. Okay. Okay. This is really hard to see against. But I think that was it. And then this was for the flaps. So if one is going this way, we want the flap to go the other way. Because then, yeah, because then it's reversed to what? Yeah, okay, and then, yeah, nope, we want one this way, and then we want one mirrored to this, and then they'll pair up with the bags. Okay, I think that's how it was working. That's what we're gonna go with. Anyway. Same as the bags. And then, but this one will go with the top one, like the reversed image. And this one will go with the one that the first one that we transcribed. And then this can go here and then in the other place. Is this hard on the eyeballs? A little bit. Didn't realize quite how hard on the eyeballs until working with it now, but oh well. Okay. Okay, all things considered, I think that went well. I probably should cut, actually, yeah, the next set I should cut upside down because then they'll match the other. So this one I should cut upside down because then it'll match the larger part of that bag. Although you don't really see these side things, so it's not like it's insanely important. But it's little details that, like that make me super happy. So, okay. So this is the one that's going upright, which means, do you know what? Honestly, we're just going to cut them from this because that will be easier than trying to do them. So yeah, let's just do the two cuts from here. Because I don't want to give myself eye strain. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Nudge, nudge. Nudge, nudge, nudge. Get on there proper, please. I cut you really tight, so you need to line up. My problem, but you know. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so that will go with the other cut. That's coming out of there. That's going to be upside down. Okay. Then you need to be trimmed down into this style of flippity flap. Go. Cool. Cool. Okay, and then we just need the back pieces. Maybe easier, even easier on the eyes. Just cut it from the back. Just cut it from the back. Did I need the area erase marker for this? No. It actually doesn't mark as well as the big pen either. Heavy there. It's all good. You will deal. It's definitely more visible than it is on the front. That's for damn sure. Okay. Zoom, 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 zoom. Let's do a little zoom. Let's do a little zoom, 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 zoom. Little zoom, zooms. Okay. Bloop. Bloop. Okay, now this is the fun part. One's going this way, one's going that way. This one's gonna be paired with... Ooh, no. No, I mirrored them correctly. Okay, I think this... Yeah, that one's gonna be paired with that. Oof, they literally just disappeared. That one's... Poof, and they're gone. Oh boy. Okay, this is the part that's going to be reversed, because then when you open it up, it matches the interior. Okay. Same as this one. Yep. So it gets flipped. All right, I'm heading out. I'm going to be working, but I will not be online tonight because I don't know how long I'll be, and blah, 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 blah. All the excuses. So I will be on Monday. I'll chat with y'all then. Hope you have a fantastic day, wherever, whenever you are. And yeah.